Welcome back to Altitude and Attitude, the only podcast where the week gets broken down by three guys who've seen worse and still came back for more. It's Thursday, it's May, and somehow the news still finds new ways to piss us off. Tonight is our week in review, the headlines, the hysteria, the hot takes, and we've got a special guest in the studio. The man, the myth, the legend, the man who once solved an international conflict with a fist and a protein bar. Chi Yi is here with us. Buckle up,
Yeah.
buckle up, pour a drink, and maybe hide your fluoride. This is Altitude and Attitude, and we've got some shit to say. What's happening, brothers?
God be with you, guy.
God be with you. Under his eye. Under his eye.
Friar Tuck. I didn't know what to say.
My God, look at you.
Wait,
Aren't you
there were
cute?
black Friar Tucks?
Apparently.
Damn.
Apparently. But let me ask you guys a question. I know I kind of poked fun at it in the intro, but if you guys seriously, fluoride is under attack again. And this time RFK is coming out and telling everybody the more the more fluoride that's in your water, the lower your IQ is.
He drinks a lot of water.
Thank you. Oh
Chili-
my God.
Jeez, that's why I drink beer.
Right. If you just stick with beer, right? I mean, RFK would, and so many people believe this, dude. So
Keeps
many
my IQ
people, so many people are believing this shit about fluoride and losing your IQ. I just don't get it.
I don't either. That's insane.
The crazy part about it is there is a there has been a study showing the first city that did fluoride. I think it was in either Wisconsin or I think it was either Washington. I'm not for sure. The fluoride became into the system is because they showed that when that city, it was a city in who did the study, they put fluoride in their city water and they reduced the number of cavities, and they've been following that study for the past 50 plus years. So it's kind of wild that all of a sudden everybody thinks fluoride is trying to kill you.
It's 2025, right? It's not like we're out in horse and buggy trying to find a candle so that we can light our way through the house tonight. We've done the studies, we have scientific proof that fluoride helps. And now in 2025, at our most advanced time ever, we have this conspiracy theory shit.
I forgot my tinfoil hat. Sorry. I was just zapped. I didn't know. I got to the end of my beer. I didn't know what to say. Excuse me.
You drink too much water. You drink too much water.
Way, my IQ is getting shot.
Right?
Oh man, I don't know what to say to all that. That's retarded.
Oh yeah, but go ahead.
My thing is, how did this man become the Secretary of Health?
Ooh, I know.
Yeah.
And his own
somebody who drank a lot of fucking water.
Yeah, but yeah. Yep. Bingo.
Right,
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm on the board.
The fucking second.
Ding.
Okay,
the Secretary of Health. Frack him.
You got 47. You're starting at 47, bro.
Oh, you want to talk about somebody, and I know Hog's got a lot to say about this one. So I'm going to give you the hot seat here. But somebody who's been drinking a lot of water down in Mississippi.
Tater tot.
Mm-hmm.
So my wife calls me, and she's talking about some business she had to take care of. And I was like, I thought you were taking care of that on Monday. It's like, well, I was, but it's a holiday. And I was like, no, it's not. She's like, yes, it is. I was like, what fucking holiday? And she's like,
He's writing it
Memorial
down.
Day. I was like, you, what? Nuh-uh.
Veterans Memorial.
The state buildings are closed. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Chris is just writing them down.
I'm Googling it, and I'm like, motherfucker. It's a fucking holiday. It's a made up bullshit.
You know, I got a question for you, Hockey, because you're down in Mississippi. What is the fascination of the CSA, the Confederate States of America? Why are they so fascinated? They lost that war. We don't even celebrate the Native Americans were slaughtered by Americans, and we don't even celebrate them. But all of a sudden, the Confederate States of America gets a holiday.
Right.
Dude, I'm at a loss, man. I don't know. Dude, I live here. I didn't know it was a holiday. People have been telling me that it's been a holiday for a while. Kind of like back, I don't know. I've seen them even try to change Martin Luther King Day into a Great Americans Day because it's Robert E. Lee's birthday. But anyways, say that all to say this. We know what it's about. Stop. It's about you, Stanford.
Yeah.
They don't like that we brought you here, and they don't want to remember history. And me and Pete both come from southern states. So
Yeah. It's ridiculous, dude.
All right, I'm not beating that dead horse anymore.
Yeah, I know. We could go on that all night.
I could go all night. It's ridiculous, but that's enough of that.
Yeah, this episode isn't about getting angry at morons, at total morons, people that are drinking too much fluorinated water. You stupid pricks!
Too many holidays.
Did you write that one down? Did you mark that one down?
Oh,
mark
no.
it down.
Which
For anybody
one?
that's wondering, Hog is
with it too, Pete.
Hog is keeping track of the amount of swearing that happens, so that the idea is that at the end of the quarter, is that right?
Yes, at the end of the quarter.
At the end of the quarter, we're going to donate all that money to a charity. And right now, Stanford is bankrolling the whole thing.
He's done. He loves his charity.
He does.
47 times over.
We about to get Dr. Umar. We're about to get Dr. Umar on this podcast.
48. Why is your skull white? Why are black people's skulls white?
Cussing for charity, guys. That's what we're doing here. Cussing for charity. Yeah.
And yes, well, whenever CJ gets here, or Yee, or whatever he wants,
whatever he wants to be called.
He
Do you guys remember?
You're on this tally as well, brother.
Yeah, so be warned. We'll let him know when he comes in here.
So, I got a question for you guys. Since we're talking about, Mississippi holidays, what do you think about what happened with with Shiloh, with the Sanders brothers?
That crank call?
Yeah, Shador being drafted 5th round in Cleveland. Highest ratings that the NFL draft ever had.
I was hoping he went to New Orleans, and we got some. I don't know. I the best one I've read so far from locally has been New Orleans. They got kicked offline, and by the time they logged back in, Yahoo picked their quarterback for them.
What I'll say is it doesn't matter where.
Have you even heard of that, dude?
It doesn't matter where he got drafted, right? Tom Brady wasn't even a 1st-round draft pick,
no.
Right? So as long as he keeps his head down, he does the work like his dad did, he's going to be something in the NFL. But if he tries to be prime time before he can be prime time, he's going to.
I think his daddy taught him better than that.
Yeah, I think so.
He has he was in Cleveland today. He had a big following of. He went to kids' schools and he got a big following of teenage kids. So that's a different generation because they stream a lot. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these kids grow up with him being on TV and with his dad and everything else. So, man, I mean, some people might say it's arrogance, but for him to be in a spotlight for that many years and don't have any incidences that we know of, right?
Right.
And compared to some of these other athletes. I mean, I got to give him a lot of credit, like you said, making it in the NFL, but also just because him and his family know how to play that social media card. Got to give him a lot of credit for that.
He will be just fine. He will be just fine.
I think so. Yeah,
and
I agree.
Everybody that was shunning him is going to be like, damn it. Like New Orleans with their, who the fuck that was? They
Write it down.
I don't even know.
Speaking of social media, let me ask you guys this one.
What's up, brother?
How happy are you guys that when we were all young men in the Air Force, that there were no social medias, there weren't any, we weren't taking each other's pictures with our cell phones and bullshit like that?
You know what? You're right.
There is no proof of what we did. Yes.
That's what we talk. Well, there's some pictures, but you have
we
to
own the pictures.
You have to come to my house to see some of them.
And I tell you what, that kind of it brings me up to where we're going with this. I know that there is definitely one guy, and we've got him backstage right now, who is absolutely thrilled to not have some of the shit he did publicized.
I think all of us were.
But this guy especially, So tonight's guest is a man that the three of us served with for many years at Scott Air Force Base. He's a brother of ours, somebody we know and love, and are happy to have him here. It's Chi Yi. We're going to bring him on up here.
Oh!
Hey, there he is. Take out the hat. It's a serious sumbitch right there.
The Korean
You say you want to call loud?
No blue.
You want to call loud? No, you got a motherfucking call loud in here.
You got one.
You got one. You got one.
What's up, boys?
What's happening, buddy? How you been, man?
Man, truly blessed, brother. Truly blessed. And what's more amazing is the fact that we're all here together, right?
Yep. Agree.
To that. Silence for that.
Oh, yeah.
Look at you. Look at it looking like a K-pop model, nigga.
Oh, there you go. So catch us up, Yi. What have you been up to since we last saw you?
Oh man, I retired from the Air Force back in November of 2020. Moved down here to Texas, where my wife is originally from. I made a promise to her folks that once I retired, that I'll bring her back home, and came back home with 2 additional kids. So
there you go. They got to be happy.
But, oh man, it's been a true blessing, and I couldn't ask for a better time in my life to be here. Right. So, and I know that during the podcast, we're going to talk about some of the things that some of the folks that don't have the fortune to be here with us today. Right. So,
yeah, absolutely.
But no, man, I couldn't ask for anything more than what I have right now. So I'm truly blessed for the job that I have. The great people that it's in my surroundings, and also that's on my side all the time, just a phone call away,
Mm-hmm.
So.
Absolutely.
Respect, brother, respect. So right now it's 2025, you're in a new journey in your life. So what are you doing? What is, I know you can't give us the details of your job specifically, but you know what I'm saying, what motivated you to your new career field, leaving the Air Force? You know what I'm saying? What motivated you to make the promise to your wife and her family? Like, look, babe, I'm bringing you home because I love you.
Yeah.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Let me know what's up.
And that's a fair question, bro. Like, that is a fair question, because I think that it caught my wife by surprise too. So I've always been intrigued in law enforcement, even though I never had good luck with cops in my lifetime. So
yeah, you've kind of pushed that one. Jeez.
And we'll talk about that later on. So
yeah, we will.
I actually hated cops for a long time. So, but You know, it's a fair question, and you know, it's. I think that all of us in this podcast right now, we have that sheepdog mentality, right? We always want to protect the ones that's within our reach, right? The ones that can't help themselves, and you know, and I always contemplated as far as what I could, how I could actually, you know, put that, the attitude, like you said, like put that attitude towards something that's uh, achievable for the society, and joining the law enforcement, which I'm very fortunate to be in now. So, um, and that's what drove me. It's just to to be able to protect those ones that can't protect themselves, right? Um, and I've been very fortunate that I went to a federal SWAT school or SRT school. And I learned real quick that it's not about taking lives; it's about preservation of lives. Is what
Yep.
drove me to do that job. So, but yeah,
You know, it's
man, it's
I
just
think it's incredible that you're doing something like that because that's not the Yee that I knew. That is not. So the only part about this Yee that I'm looking at today that is the same is the determination. You have
Yep.
always been one of the most determined people that I've ever known. I
thank
can
you.
remember the first time I ever met you. Um,
And a stubborn
you,
fuck.
yeah, write that down.
Yeah,
The first time I met you, I don't think you were on base very long at all, and you wanted to know about going to the honor
Honor
guard.
guard.
What
yeah.
should I go to the honor guard? You know what should I be doing here? I mean, you already had your shit planned out. This was my third base, and I didn't even know that we could join the honor guard. You were only there for maybe a month in the Air Force, and you're like, "Let's go, honor guard."
You know, wasn't even thinking about this earlier, but it just all of us here together talk. It was a life lesson that I learned one time from CJ that he was talking about. He was so upset. He was in by this time he had been in the honor guard for a while, and he was talking to me. I don't know if you told a lot of people this story or not, but he was talking about how they were on they were TDY or you know whatever, and they were going to a funeral, somebody to lay somebody to rest, and they went out, had a good time like everybody does on TDY. He said that he was in the elevator and they were all cutting up and just being obnoxious motherfuckers. And he said that I can't remember, mom, dad, whoever said, "Oh, are you the honor guard with the Air Force?" And he said, "Yes." He said, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Whatever." And she's like, "Oh, you're burying our son tomorrow." And he said,
Damn.
"It never. It was something that really stuck with me for years because I was like, you know, you really do never, ever, ever know who it is that's listening to you when you're talking."
No, 100%. Yeah,
And
man.
and when you're in a situation like that, I was like, man, that would absolutely, I would be horrified over that. And so I don't know why that story carried with me. Well,
It's a great
among
story.
others, less inspirational.
It's a
You
great
know,
story.
No,
you know what, CJ, it was something because you know I seen you when we was when you did your thing, but the first time I actually seen an honor guard up front was when recently a couple of years ago my stepfather who passed away, he was a Marine, he volunteered for the Marine Corps for Vietnam, did 10-year tour volunteer, right? I missed my uncle's funeral because he was an Air Force veteran. He passed away, but I missed his funeral. So I seen my stepfather's and I seen the honor guard do it because he's buried at Abraham Lincoln National Cemetery in Illinois. And to see how much you guys work, because it's one of the biggest national cemeteries. It's amazing to see the honor you guys do from different, from all the different walks of the services. And even though we were all Air Force, to see the Marines and then see other guys like they got the volunteers from the VFW that come out too to do the
right.
21 gun when they can't, because you guys are so stretched thin in the honor guard. It's it's very humbling to see that you guys give a lot to honor the soldiers before they before they find a rest. So I really
Yeah,
appreciate it. I didn't really appreciate it as a young man because I didn't really get it because we all in our world. But later on, I really do appreciate your service for that, brother.
I think
And no, and the thing is, I was truly blessed the fact that and I vividly remember having that conversation with Pete because I was so scared. Like, how do I address this? Matter of fact, I think that he's the one that addressed it to this upper supervisors that, hey, this young man wants to do this. They was like, well, he didn't even do his damn CDCs yet, but but Pete's like, hey man, I'll take the heat for that. And
Right.
obviously Pete's like, if you fail this, I'm gonna kill you, right? So but and that's the thing though. And I think that was the pivotal point in my early military career. I didn't know nothing about the military really when it comes to coming from the streets of DC, right? So when I came in, and then I saw the very first funeral, and I'll never forget this. It was a tech sergeant that passed away in a car accident, and it was active duty funeral. And I remember standing there holding the flag and folding the flag by the casket. And then I remember he couldn't have been more than 5 or 6 years old. And he was literally in front of me with his mom. And I'm on the head side, and as the flag is getting passed over, and I remember the young boy saying, "Mommy, is Daddy going to come home?"
Oh my God. I was there. I know who you're talking about.
Yep.
It was more, but that was awful. That was.
Yeah.
Is Daddy gonna wake up?
Yes, you remember that?
Yes, I was there.
And that was the moment that I knew that this is not about me.
Right.
This is not about me. It's not about wearing a uniform, looking cool, shining the boots. It's not about me, and that was the pivotal point for me in my career to understand that I'm doing this for a bigger cause. And it's somebody like that 5-year-old boy that was watching me. And they always tell you that, you can't get personal. And I'll talk about my experience in 2018, but there was absolutely no way that I couldn't feel that pain for that young boy, and I lost it, man. I mean, I lost my bearing and discipline. I cried, and Hog knows. I mean, it's tough, man, but it's one of those things that
I don't think there was I don't think there was a dry eye in that church.
How could there be? Yeah. How could there be?
I think that was the funeral home and then the church. But either way, I don't think there was a dry eye that whole day.
Nope.
Nope.
I remember Yee, as soon as you got onto the honor guard, I remember our very first air show. Yee did something so special for me. He brought the honor guard out and did a drill for my son and included my son in that drill. I've got pictures of it somewhere. I've got to find those pictures, man. It was so cool. It's
spinning that rifle.
Yeah, and it's a memory that my son to this day, who is now 31.
Oh my God! Yeah. We're fucking old.
Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thanks, Pete.
31.
He talks about it all the time. Yeah, he does.
Yeah. So we had bayonets on our M1 Garand, so we're spinning it, and it's our 13-pound rifle. And Pete's like, "Yeah, you'll be fine.
Do it. Yeah.
Get around him."
But this was before you started punching people in the face. So
okay, yeah.
Right.
Hey, we're there. Let's go. We're there.
Let's hear it. Why do you hate Lieutenant so much, Yee?
It's a full circle too. So I didn't like officers when I was enlisted as a young airman, and then what do? And 18 years later, I end up training a bunch of lieutenants. So
yeah.
So when I used to tell the lieutenants I will freaking hurt you, I literally meant that, right? So, but no, let's and I use that story for a lot of the younger guys too. And they look at me, they'll say, "Hey, I had a bio. And the younger guys would see the bio. They'll look at the data rank and everything else, and then they'll notice it right away. They'd be like, "Hey, sir, is that a typo? It says senior airman twice." And I was like, "No." I said, "I was so good that I made it twice."
So good. Yeah. He was definitely good.
I made it twice that they want to be the senior airman twice and run the E4 Mafia, right? So, but no, and I'm not ashamed. I was a hothead when I first came in Stanford. Everybody knows this. I was a hothead. I used to fight all the time.
Hold on, you went back to senior airman
Twice.
twice?
He got busted down. Yeah.
No, I made senior airman. I had it on for 2 weeks.
And they took it
Lost
away.
it,
Yeah.
and made senior airman again.
Yeah.
So,
That might be a record.
Didn't you get BTZ?
no,
No.
Greg Glenn beat me.
Green beat him out.
We love you, Greg, wherever you are.
Yeah.
Oh, he did that Texas asshole. And you stand your ground, bro. Stand your ground.
Stand your
Yeah.
ground, he says.
Yeah.
Took it from a minority.
No, I got so for the audience, I'm very protective as far as people that surround me, that's close to me. So they built this brand new train station, which is probably the worst idea because it goes from the base straight downtown St. Louis and come right back.
The Metro Link.
Yeah, that was probably
Metro,
the
that's
worst thing
Dude,
ever.
that was a horrible idea, but awesome at the same time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So I'm gonna keep a lot of people's names out of this, but as we got off, everybody's belligerent, drunk, and I'm following Dave. You guys know who I'm talking about when I say Dave.
Dave, we're gonna get you on the show here pretty soon.
Yeah, my God. And he had a newspaper for those young folks don't understand this actual. That was our
A
Facebook.
real newspaper.
Yeah. And he was reading his sports page, and this idiot came by, and he was super drunk, and he slapped it out of his hand, and then next thing you know, we started fighting. So, well, it wasn't really a fight because
That's all you needed.
So, yep, that was it. So, and then next thing you know, I had Belleville police knocking on my door. It says, "You in a fight?" And I was like, "No." And then
It really wasn't a fight.
and then he looks down and he's like, "So where'd that blood come from on your boot?" And I was like, "Well, you got me." So
Man, yeah, that's the only time that I ever.
you was working, Pete.
I was working.
You was working that night.
That's the only time that I ever had doubts about you. That's the only time I questioned you. I was like, did that young troop just fucking do that? Did he mark that down? Did he just do that? But I think that was a turnaround. I think it was a turnaround.
It wasn't a lieutenant. It was a Captain Fisher that worked in AMC headquarters. That was
Oh, damn,
the
you
pilot.
put out the name.
Captain Fisher. We'd like to have you on, Captain Fisher.
We have to look up Captain Fisher.
C-17 pilot. Just FYI, worked in the AMC headquarters.
I got to tell you, but you know, CJ and us had a lot of fun. We had a ton of fun.
My God.
Do you guys remember us going to Alpena together?
Oh Lord! Can we
Remember
discuss
the
this on the
Alpena?
show?
Yeah, you remember that?
Oh my God, dude!
Hey, hold on! I thought we had an NDA over here.
We're in like it was freezing cold, and me and Pete have discovered that we could cut the hoses on our gas
straws?
mask.
Yeah.
He is smoking in his. We're all freezing, and I'm spitting out of mine because I dipped at the time. Spitting out of mine into a bottle.
It's much easier to
And
smoke
he's like,
and come out.
Hey guys, we just ate. You ever seen an MRE bomb?
Oh my
I'm like,
God! Oh
yeah.
my
Okay,
God!
So really quick, for those of you
Oh,
that don't
God.
understand, an MRE is those package of meals ready to eat, MRE, that we would get when we were in the field. Well, they all came with, most of them came with a heater that you would pour water in and it would heat up. You'd put your meal in, it would heat up your meal. Well, what some of us discovered was that if you took those heaters and you broke them apart, you could put them into a water bottle with a little bit of water, just a little bit, and tighten that cap up, and the whole thing would explode. So let's talk about CJ.
Now that they know
my God.
physics, now that they know the physics of it. So he's like, dude, we've got like 3 of these things and a 2-liter bottle.
Yeah, it was
massive. He goes and breaks these things up and he puts them in the water bottle. And we're all thinking it's great. And I'm spitting out of my fucking gas mask and shit. Oh, that's 2. And he goes out there and he like buries it halfway. He like kind of like digs a little thing, puts it in there. It was so loud. None of us were expecting it to be that loud. I mean, we all shit our pants. And then they thought that it was part of the exercise, so they actually
the command post. The command post heard it all the way across the base and put us in Mach 4. Thought it was an attack. Thanks, CJ.
And me and CJ are out there trying to pick up the shards of this this bottle, and the crater that it
literally made a crater.
We're all like, oh my God, they're gonna figure out it was us because EET was like
EET. That's
everybody was confused.
Yeah,
EET was confused. Command post was confused. Everybody's going, this is not
except us. We knew what was going on.
We were the only ones.
Like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Me and Hogstad's like, oh, we're marking for the chemical attack. We're marking for the chemical
That's awesome.
Bro,
oh my God.
I've never been so scared in my life. And we was in Mach 4 for the longest time.
Yeah, because nobody knew what was going on.
Thank you. Yeah, they couldn't figure it out.
No. God.
It took that long to figure out that nothing happened.
Still to this day, I don't think they know. We gotta wait.
We would like to have everybody from Command Post on this show.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
They can't remotely now. Hell, we were probably on the A1C senior.
A1Cs, yeah.
Oh my God.
Pete was our authority figure.
So, hey, just FYI for everybody else to know, we had a lot of duds. We literally had a lot of duds. We're like, oh, it just
duds. It ain't working.
Games. Yeah. Well, this one,
it was the new MREs.
My Lord, man. I mean, hey,
he took the full extreme.
And hey, every one of us experienced IED attacks, so it was literally the sound of 88 mics, maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
Not
there
quite 105, but maybe 88 mics.
Yeah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. All right, now I want to play a game of who the hell is this?
Let's go.
You guys ready?
What's up?
Ready for this? Who the hell is
this? Me and Max.
Who the hell is that? That is not. I mean, look at that.
Wow.
I'm looking at Hoggy like, come here, boy. It's about to be racing.
That looks like you really don't like the story I'm telling you.
Yeah. Well, he was a little.
You got a pretty mouth.
If you look at the whole picture, that's zoomed in. There's somebody else like this black hand over here is telling a story. And that's
Hoggy, why you messed up our love story, bro? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know Greta's watching, bro. Don't hide it, bro.
There we go.
We were never intimate.
There's the picture. There it is. So Stanford, you either want to have sex with Hog or you want to beat up this guy that's talking. Which one is it?
Both.
Is that Matt? Is that Matt?
Yeah. That's Matt.
That's Matt.
That's Matt right there on the left there.
Yeah.
That's Matt.
It sure is. Rest in peace, brother.
Rest in peace, Matt. And that, what's we call it in the back? He from Ohio.
TMO or something.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, I'm friends with him on Facebook. I'm sorry, brother. I know you're probably watching, and it's just Yeah, because he did 20 years in the Air Force. I think he's still in.
Oh, really? Wow.
What?
But yeah, Matt, that's a great brother right there. We lost him way too soon, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those wondering, we're talking about the individual on the left who's looking at the camera smiling. Matthew Stinnett served with
I'm
us
about
for
to
many
tell a
years
story
at,
about.
at
I'm
Scott.
about to tell a story about Matt Snow. Go ahead, Pete.
No, I
I'm
just
about
we lost
to tell a
Matt
story
to suicide
Yes.
not long ago.
Yes.
So hold on, my fault. Before you guys, so I remember somebody hit me up. So that was true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause me and him were Facebook friends for years, and then
Yep.
that was
Me too. Yeah, I found out through CJ actually. But this was first of all, Stinnett, I think, was a little bit younger than us, right, CJ?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like we were like probably senior airman, almost staff, and he was the younger.
Yeah.
Anyways, me and CJ have been since basic. Then we went to tech school. Then we went to Scott. Well, Pete is the dispatcher. Me and CJ and Mastinet were doing command cars.
Don't say it though.
We're doing command cars in the freezing cold. So we bring them into the maintenance bay where it's nice and warm. That's what people do. And
I was in charge that night and
Yeah.
by myself in the building.
yes, it was
Just
a
FYI.
midnight shift because we
Yeah.
were doing command cars.
Dicks.
So the maintenance bay had this big crane in there with this steel ball on it and a hook for pulling big motors or whatever. And I was like, "Hey Matt, hey Stinnett, why don't you sit on that steel ball for a minute and we'll just raise you up a little bit and it'll be fun." And he's like, "Okay."
Wait a minute. You were fucking around with the maintenance crane?
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
I
had a little-
Son of a
understand.
bitch.
The
I had
hangar
to-
is probably 60 to 80 feet high.
Oh yeah. It's
that's
way
small.
Easy.
It's
easy.
legit like an aircraft.
It's
hangar.
way. The OSHA would die right now. But so I bring this thing down. Stinnett sits on it, and I bring it up just high enough where he ain't got the balls to jump off of it. So it's up probably about 10, 15 feet. And I'm like, I'm gonna go left and right with this thing. Remote, and this thing starts swinging, and it just keeps going. Well, then I drop it down all the way to the floor. And then, like by this time, and all of a sudden, CJ's like, "Dude, he's gonna hit the catwalk! He's gonna hit the catwalk!"
No,
and then we couldn't stop it.
No,
we couldn't stop it because it's a fucking steel ball.
Well, hey, I'm telling him to stop, and then but Hog's like, I can't. But the shit is going up and swinging while it's going up.
And then I was trying to counter what I was doing by going the opposite of what I was doing. And Matt's like the whole time, like, I don't know how much longer I can hang on.
Hey, his arms were shaking. Oh my God, I'm gonna die.
They're about that big around.
And then Hawk says, brilliant mind says, CJ, go underneath and catch him. And I was like, what?
I have a question. I have a question for you, Hog, and you, CJ. Were you bastards trying to get me busted?
Yes.
You could have gone to jail that day.
Well, is that what you guys were trying to do? Was that it? Why is it that Stanford and I are the only ones that don't live with our heads in our ass? All right, I got an LOR with your name on it, Hog.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Hey, while we talking about this, because brother Stinnett, he passed away. Anybody who has mental health issues, please reach out to the VA or the suicide hotline, because they're there to help with anybody that's going through depression or suicidal thoughts. So please reach out to the VA. They have a hotline. I don't remember the number offhand, or call the suicidal hotline. It's a nationwide number. Please Google it, look it up. They're always going to help people. Always going to answer the call.
Yeah, hey, Max, I appreciate you saying that, and that kind of brings into the segue. My wife is going to be attending her master's program here shortly, and she's going in as a social work, and also I give credit to myself because she's the one that went into psychology because of me. So I do want to say that I get all the credit for that. So, but
I feel sorry for your wife.
hey, with that being said, though, that suicide number is that 988 number. And then she reminded me just now that May is actual mental health month as well. So,
That's right. It sure is.
but you know, and I definitely wanted to say this, and I know this is kind of out of script, but I really appreciate you setting this kind of platform because this is exactly what our boys needs to get reconnected to our brotherhood, right? So,
Absolutely.
and it was a tough transition for me after I retired, and then if I would have had this form of reconnection, I think it would have made that transition a lot easier. So I appreciate you boys for doing this, and then hopefully that a lot of our other guys gets on board and get on here and kind of resoul their soul,
Absolutely.
right?
Let's
So
get him back in here. Let's get him in here. You know, and we all think about Stinnett a lot because he was there with us for quite a while. He wasn't just he didn't
Yeah.
just kind of pop in and then leave. Stinnett was with us from beginning to end.
it's a big Detroit Lions fan too.
Yeah, and I owe him money. I still didn't pay it, so I'm gonna have to put him on. I'm gonna have to put it on his gravesite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's unfortunate too because he's not the only one. We have one too many names that we want to talk about, like MJ.
MJ. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, Michael Jackson, and that really hurt me as well. So, but the biggest takeaway is that, you know, if anybody, we're just a phone call away, guys, right? So
Absolutely.
and we all have bad days, right? We all have bad nights. We all have bad days. And Hawkset will tell you that I've called him and he answers that phone right away. And it's very unfortunate because if he calls, my first thought process is, oh man, something's bad. What's going on?
Right.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't have that feeling, right? Yeah. Or, hey man, I'm going through a bad time. Like, I just need to talk. You know, and every one of us we face death every fucking day in Iraq and Afghanistan. I never went to Afghanistan, but every one of us faced death every single time that we went out on the outside the wire, right?
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's just a phone call away, and I can't stress it enough.
Pick up a phone, call somebody. 100%.
Hey, I'm going to put my number out here. 210-807-2446. There you go. Call me.
There it is. We'll write that down. For a good time.
Yeah.
For a good
for a good time.
For a good time.
Hawks will tell you about good times when we went to a freaking haunted house too. How's that?
Uh-oh. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Tell me about a haunted house. What's going on?
Hey, hold on.
What up?
I think so. Me, my ex and his ex, we all went to this haunted house.
Not my ex. It was a girlfriend that I was dating. Just FYI.
Oh, so if she's not your ex, you guys are still together?
Hell no.
Does your wife know?
She knows about what?
What?
I called her your ex. Isn't that what they're supposed to be called?
That's what I thought.
We're
Just live? All right.
Stanford he just deleted his camera. He's like,
I think so.
So we're in this haunted house, and both of us, we had to piss like bad.
Oh, it's
bad. And mind you, we come from the military. We already seen each other's dicks. It don't matter. So,
are you keeping count here, or
is that is dick a curse?
Piss, dick.
Does it? That's sketchy, man. I don't know. We'll have to vote on that. I'm gonna put these in. So we go in there, like the only what do you call this?
Yeah, y'all got. Hey, Megan just walked in and said, "Oh."
That was it. All right.
The Porta John.
That was awesome.
There's a Porta John. And so we get in this thing. It was only one left. It was a handicap one, and it was like we both.
Yeah, it was like a wheelchair one, right? Like the massive one.
There's two holes to pee in, so we both just went in there. Well, as soon as we went in there, I'm like, "Oh, this is a great idea. I am going to go."
Hey, This is downtown St. Louis, by the way. Downtown St. Louis.
Oh no.
There's 1,000
no.
people.
So, I was like, no, it's too much. And then how much you know an Asian comes out?
Hey, this one dude starts doing the slow clap. And the next thing you know, everybody's doing that. Yeah!
I forgot about that.
Oh my God.
I totally forgot about that.
Hey, Hawkson over here talking about, baby, come here. Come here, daddy. I'm trying to run away. Could you imagine if they had cell phones back then with social media?
Right.
Oh,
Right.
Lord.
Thank God we don't have that.
Oh,
stuff.
my God.
We'd have been in
Oh, we were talking about MJ earlier.
We were talking about what?
MJ,
Oh yeah.
Alpena, Michigan.
Yeah.
All right, I got to hear this. More Alpina stuff.
Hey, Max, were you with us at Alpena too?
Is this when we were towing that vehicle? We were going to
No, this is all right. So there's a tradition in Alpena, Michigan, that at the index of the exercise, everybody gets shit faced, drunk in the bar.
Sounds like Korea, doesn't it?
Oh man, bro, I've never been to Korea. Oh, I've been to Korea. I got deported out of Korea when I was 8.
Yeah.
They said we don't want you no more. Go.
Did you just say deported from Korea?
He got deported.
Oh my God.
And deported to school.
But so we had this guy, Hyrie, and
Oh no, I think I got
remember
something.
Hyrie?
No, you
I think I got something with Hyrie. What is that?
That's not. It's not
That's-
Hyrie.
That's a Hyrie, but that's a nice ass, Jake.
Oh, there's Hyrie.
There he is, Hyrie, everybody.
All
Right there, looking in his
So,
bag.
And guess what they found? And this is, matter of fact, we was flying out of Sicily, and Jacob Good decided to. I don't know how he got it, but he bought a massive dildo.
You have got to know Hyrie to know how humiliating this was.
And he put that in that yellow vanilla envelope.
Yeah.
So I'm standing there with Good, and we're going to security checkpoint. This is right after 9/11, so you know it's super intense as far as security. So they run through the X-ray machine and they pull them out, and then we've already cleared. Me and Jake is already cleared. And that lady said, "Sir, come here." And then she opens it up, and she's like, "Open this." He opened it and he pulls it out. But the worst part is he's waving. It's like, it's not mine. And that poor lady said, "It's okay. It's okay." He's like, "No, it's not mine."
Oh my God.
That's good.
There's Good. There's the guy right there that did it to him.
From Bryan, Texas. Bryan, College Station, Texas.
Jake, get in touch with us.
Lee
Get up.
Cow.
The F-150, boy.
F-150. Hey, do you know,
You're making me laugh too hard.
Dude, I just talked to him probably about 2 months ago. Guess what he drives right now? A red F-150.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that tracks.
Oh, same one.
That man's a Ford, but man, he was always a Ford. I'm like, "Good, what about a die?" You talking about Chevy? He don't get mad. He want to fight you.
The Keystones, man.
Man, Hey, that's a good dude right there, brother.
Yeah.
That's a good dude right there.
He's always a very honest guy.
You always know a good dude when he'll.
Yeah.
Number one, his last name is Good, and then number two, he'll put a
Or Goody. We call him Goody.
And then he likes putting dildos in people's stuff.
You know what's funny? One day I was messing with this girl, and it's Scott.
Now, when you say messing,
with the white girl, Vashi. So I was messing with her, dating her.
Wait. Are you saying that a black guy has to explain what he means when he says messing, but a white guy can say messing and it's okay?
You know,
Did you write that down?
I'll give myself another maybe curse.
You need to define. Apparently, I'm sorry, Sanford. Apparently, you need to define what messing with a white girl means.
You know, I was dating a white girl at the time, and me, Goo, we was at her house because she had two other roommates. It was Goot's girl. Goo was messing with that one girl, that little Mexican girl from Texas, and then this other girl. And we're just getting shit faced, and me and Goo start rapping. And some reason I started rapping, and I was in the zone. Goo was like, "Bro, you have to make that up." I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I was just drunk at the moment." So Goo kept telling everybody, "He's a rapper. He's a rapper."
Fucking good.
Hey, Goot. Hey, we had one of our dorm parties got busted, and there was a brand new keg. Like it literally just got tapped, and it got busted. And you know how heavy a keg is, right?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That son bitch picked that shit.
That one too.
You remember? Yes, he was there, and he carried it to the dorm.
Yeah, he was out. He took the whole motherfucker.
And this is what he looked like as he ran away. Showing everybody his good side.
Look at his.
Look at those shoes. What is that?
It was chicken. It was cock.
Didn't we have like a bathtub or something full of like junk?
Yes. Yeah.
We were freaking hammered.
Oh, how did we not get kicked out? Let me ask y'all that.
No, I've been trying to figure that out.
I'll tell you what. I know exactly why.
I know the Linux.
I know exactly why all of us survived the shit we did there, and it's because we had an amazing group of people in our squadron. Yeah. That's how we were able to do it. If we hadn't taken care of each other, we'd all been tossed.
Oh, what about when Hawk said drove a general officer on the detail, and the general officer smelled alcohol?
Let's talk about that.
Hey, come on, Hawk! You want to put me out there? Come on!
Yeah. Here's the bus. Get your ass under it. All right.
I get him down to, first of all, great night. Forgot that I had to pick this guy up at 4:30 in the morning. Oh, so really long night too. So I went from the bar to, oh shit, I got to get my uniform on. And I think it was maybe Molke or somebody I think it was Molke. And he's like, oh my God. He's like, just get in there. Remember those stupid packets we had? So he handed me the key packet, and I'm getting to the car. I go pick up the general, and I don't think we said anything the whole way there, but I dropped him off downtown. I don't remember where. I think one of the federal buildings or something like that. Maybe in a hotel, wherever they do conferences. And this dude looks over at me and says, Aaron Hawk said, I'm calling your shop. Go to sleep. Said, I will knock on the window in 6 hours when I'm ready to go back.
Hey, Chad Mulcahy came out. He said, I don't give a fuck who's ready, but somebody get ready just in case, because Hawkson is fucking drunk.
I drove his ass all the way down to downtown. Hey, we made it. Did you die?
But did you die?
Bro, that is, you know what? I was realizing where I got that phrase from. It was from you. I was like, did you die?
But did you die?
Hey, you know you remember who else used to be always drunk too? General Pear, the army guy.
Yeah.
Y'all remember him?
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
dipping.
Yeah.
Man.
Hell,
Hey,
dude. No, but Lord, have mercy, man. It's
Do you remember when I got arrested on my way out the gate?
Is this another story where I almost end up getting fired? What's going on here?
Yeah,
I know.
probably.
Johnny Davis was working dispatch.
John, we need you on this, you
Yes.
jackass.
So, I'm going to pick up this Admiral or whatever, take him to Lambert. And I'm headed there. And as soon as I hit the gate, I did what we all did and then went. Well, that speed trap right there. Remember how it stayed 20 till you get like
Oh,
too
yeah.
far, right past that strip mall or whatever. Back then, if you live at Scott, it was different. So I did. I mean, I got lit up immediately. I pull over. Cop comes and he's like, goes.
Did you have a warrant?
No, this wasn't General Lord. This was an admiral. It was a Navy admiral. So he comes back because he knew my uncle. The cop comes back. Luckily, I hadn't picked him up yet. I just left the gate. And I called Johnny up and said, "Oh, because the cop said there's a warrant out for my arrest." I'm like, "What?" He's
What?
like, but it says that you're like 125, whatever, blonde hair, blue eyes. And I'm like, "Okay, well, what the fuck?" He's like, "I think that I have the wrong person, but I have to take you in. There's a warrant." I was like, "What?" So I called Johnny up and I'm like, "Hey, I'm going to jail, evidently. I need to send somebody else to pick up the Admiral and somebody else to get the car."
Dude, I do remember this. I do remember this.
Yeah, I asked the cop.
crap.
I said, he said if I don't feel froggy, then he
Was
would
that
let
on a
me.
weekend shift? Was that like
No,
on
it
a
was like
weekend
night
shift?
shift, early or
Was
something,
it?
it was midnight shift.
Okay, no.
So he's like, if you don't try and be stupid, I won't handcuff you. I was like, well, what the fuck am I gonna do? I'm gonna
He's tagging away.
run through the cornfields?
Right.
Like that's all that was there back then. Like that's all I were. Where was I to go? Like I'm already enough shit. I don't need to go running away from you, officer. So, anyways, I called Johnny up. Jonathan Davis.
Jonathan,
That's
you're being called out, brother.
Not from Corn, says to me when I called him and said, "I'm going to jail. Send somebody to pick up the Admiral." He said, "Fuck you."
Oh,
And I'm like, I call him back. I'm like, "Dude, I'm serious, man." He's like, "What?" I was like, "If you go out that gate, there's a car, a K car."
There's a K card just sitting there.
Security forces can see it and just watched me be arrested.
dude, that's
By
hilarious.
O'Fallon. I'm going to the O'Fallon Penitentiary.
Hey, can I ask you one thing though? Can I ask you one thing?
Oh my God.
What's more embarrassing, that or when you pissed inside your VCR?
It wasn't a VCR.
Oh,
It was VCR.
Neither one. It was an alarm clock, first of all.
oh, well, that's better. That's so much better.
We could do this all night. It was after a combat dining in. So everybody that knows what a combat dining in is, okay, I was hammered.
Oh.
We all were, but somebody brought me home. I had a DD. Unfortunately, it was a female who brought me home to my wife and said, "I brought your husband home for you."
And I'm downstairs. Matter of fact, Glenn was there too. And we're over there drinking more.
I was so hammered. I fell down in the yard. It was a long night.
Bro, he came down.
And if you are a young airman female and you get tasked with the job of bringing drunken men home,
yeah, don't say.
Please don't say, "I brought your man home for you." Really, it ruins the buzz.
It ruins the buzz, he says.
No, hey, listen. This is what happened. Hog was too intoxicated to tell you this. I hear somebody screaming upstairs. So me and Glenn go upstairs running. And then as I'm doing this, he's standing on top of the fucking bed and he's pissing into the VCR.
It was an alarm clock with a tape player.
God, that makes it so much better.
Dude.
They're all racing. It is what it is. But a VCR makes it even funny.
Why would I have a VCR next to my bed? That's retarded.
Hey, here's the best part though. Hog goes downstairs. He says, fine. So he goes, that's exactly how he says, fine. So he goes downstairs, goes in the front yard, and just lays down there.
I'm giving you three curse
So he
words
sleeps.
just because you told the story.
He's laying in the front yard, and then we wake up the next day. There's Hog in the front yard sleeping.
And I went upstairs and I had thrown like money all over my bedroom. I don't know what I'm trying to pay for.
Good Lord. God. Man,
Must be the money, Deion.
this has been so much fun.
I could
I
do
tell
this
you
all
what.
night.
Yeah, it's been great having you on here, Yee. It's really good to see you, brother.
CJ!
Yeah, CJ in the house.
Let's go, baby.
All right, guys, that's it for this episode of Altitude and Attitude. We've had a ton of fun catching up with one of our brothers, somebody we miss and love. We've got so much more to give you folks coming up this next week, so make sure you hit us up, follow us on Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube. And on behalf of Stanford, Hog, and myself, we want to thank Yee for coming on, and sorry for embarrassing you with your wife and your ex. So, maybe you guys can get that cleaned up.
Oh, I can get more of
If
that.
not,
Hey, Pete, do the mental health shout out too, please. One more time.
yeah, and don't forget, folks. If you veterans, anybody that's listening right now, if you're having any kind of mental health issues, if you need somebody to talk to, if you feel like things are just getting too much for you, please reach out to anybody, anyone. And if you can't find somebody, just dial 988 and get yourself some help, because there's always a better tomorrow. Always. Thanks a lot, guys.
I love you, boys.
Love you too.
Love you too.